Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. And good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Jason Show on this Tuesday, July 28th, 2020. I'm Jason Matheson. Welcome to the show. Grab a cup of coffee, grab some decaf, grab some OJ, maybe a mimosa, and help me welcome my sidekick sister. She's my Shirley Feeney to my Laverne DeFazio. It's Miss Kendall right over there. Good morning.
I never knew their last names.
Yeah, Shirley Feeney and Laverne DeFazio. Yeah.
Oh, go figure. That I was like, who's Shirley? Laverne and Shirley.
And another little fun fact, Shirley had a cat, a little stuffed animal called Boo Boo Kitty. Boo Boo Kitty? Boo Boo Kitty. She had it. She took it everywhere. Yeah.
Oh,
Boo Boo Kitty.
Cute. Meow.
That's what. Yeah. And by the way, Boo Boo Kitty is Jeff's nickname for me. Executive producer Jeff. Boo Boo Kitty is what he calls me when he's in a good mood. Which, you know,
I've never heard it.
Every other day of the week, Jeff's in a good mood. So is it today? Or is today? No, today's not a good mood. No. Oh, Ted on my ear goes, no. Tomorrow. We're looking forward to a great day tomorrow. But Kendall.
Jason.
Let's talk about horse yoga.
Can we, please?
So yesterday, if you watched the show, and my goodness, I hope you do, because there's nothing else on. The Price is Right's going to be reruns forever. And then The View, remember what I call The View now? What's Meghan McCain mad at today? That's what I call The View. Mm-hmm. Don't watch that. I love Whoopi. But anyway, if you watched the show yesterday, you heard me say that Kendall not only is a delightful sidekick, she's an expert on 394 and 494, but she also books segments for this very program that you're enjoying, okay? Mm-hmm. So Kendall booked me on a segment, a little shoot yesterday, and it was called Horse Yoga. And now, I have barely done yoga, let alone yoga with an animal. So we traveled to a magical place called Hastings. Now, I had never been to Hastings. It's basically in Illinois. I mean, I felt like I kept going down 94 and going down 94, but it's my first observation, stunningly beautiful. Oh, as they say in God's country, just rolling hills, there's farm and corn as far as the eye can see, people selling sweet corn on the side of the road, lots of land, which got me thinking, eventually I will build South Fork, and I'm still looking for land. So if there's anybody out there that would like to leave me in their will a couple acres of land, I will gladly take it.
Good.
Maybe there's a nice lady watching that has no family and just a dog. Leave your land to me in your will. I would be very grateful. But anyway,
I'm having a heart attack.
You're nervous.
Are you about to yell at me, or
no,
are you
I'm not going to yell at you.
Me?
So we pull up, and I haven't seen photographer Eric in about 5 months. He looks delightful. I almost said delicious, but that would have been weird. But he looked great. I got out, and then the woman was like, "Hello, welcome to the farm, and you're going to meet today's horse." So I walked over to Ace, the horse, and I'm like, "Now, how are we going to do horse yoga?" So she put a hat on me. Hat didn't fit, like a safety hat. So they had to literally go into the house to find a safety helmet that would fit this head. Because again, I don't know how the TV shows it, but I have a ginormous physical melon. My head is huge. I can't wear most baseball hats. Anyway, So a gentleman had to come from the house to bring me like an extra large safety helmet. So I get on, and then she goes, "Okay, I need you to touch the horse." So I stand on the side of the horse, and she goes, "Feel like you're one with the animal." So I'm touching the horse, and then she has me rub him like this. And at this moment, I'm thinking, I hate Kendall. I just thought to myself, I'm never speaking to Kendall again, because I'm rubbing the animal, and I look at the woman, and I said, "This is like wax on, wax off." And she said, "Exactly." And then at the very end, and you'll see this story coming up soon on an episode, she has me get on top of the horse to do yoga. So they got the saddle. I got up on the saddle, and then I had to do yoga poses on top of the horse. Is there a problem over there, Jeff? I don't know what's so funny.
He's in a good mood now.
So I learned, let me unbutton my coat. I learned that this is called small cactus. I was doing the small cactus or the red lobster, but this is the small cactus.
Okay.
And then I had to do warrior pose on, and then I got ready to do the warrior pose, and Ace, the horse, did not like that. He whinnied. and then he was moving his leg. And I said, is that me? Does he not like me on him? He goes, no, the flies are bothering him. So I learned a fun fact, skin of the horse, very sensitive, can feel one fly on them. Did not know that before
Because they
yesterday.
always have flies on them, so you would think that they wouldn't be so sensitive.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, I didn't know that their skin was that sensitive. But anyway, it was delightful. Don't hate you. I actually like you. It was one of my favorite shoots that you've ever scheduled me for.
Yes.
I did find it relaxing. And then at the very end, I got to see a mini pony.
You got to see a mini pony?
Yes, then I called my mother-in-law, who's watching right now, and I said, my birthday is coming up. What would make a great gift? A mini pony. So, thank you, Jeff. Yeah. She goes, and her response, new phone, who dis? And then she hung up on me. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Here we go. Yeah. My mother-in-law didn't find that as funny as I thought it was. She didn't. Anyway. Let's get started. Things got really, really real for Ellen and her talk show. Variety says Warner Media, they're the big group that basically owns the show, they're launching an internal investigation into the show. A memo to staff reportedly says a third party has been retained to investigate the show's workplace. This comes, we talked about this last week, this comes after a dozen former and current staffers reported incidents of racism and intimidation from the show's upper management. The show's executive producers came out with a statement saying they were heartbroken by the allegations and were committed to doing better. Well, they better do better quick. I said this, we spoke at this at length last week and said, we have a small working of knowledge of environments like this on a much smaller scale. I mean, you're basically, I could count on two hands the amount of, people on our crew. But if Ellen didn't know this was going on, if she is so far removed from the day-to-day operations, it is a mutual failure of hers and the producers. As Jeff said, our executive producer, one of the roles of the executive producer is to keep the host focused. And God knows Jeff has a hard job on this show, but all kidding aside, it's to get rid of the noise so that the host can focus on the job of hosting the show.
Right.
However, if the executive producers were not informing Ellen that there was a toxic cultural environment, that is a fail on their part. So, and I will also say Ellen better address this on her season premiere. What I mean by that is legally. I don't know what HR, how much she'll be able to say.
Right.
But with every one of these celebrity stories, get out in front of it. Own it. Own it, apologize, own your role, show how you will do better. Don't just give a crappy PR statement that's written by Tanya in HR. I don't know, Tanya the same, but tell people how you're going to do better. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and a couple of the things that were reportedly said were said by guests, too, who said that they didn't like being on the show as guests. Like, that was not a part of the big piece, but...
Oh.
So, and that vibe is going to have directly to do with her. We got
a lot of interesting emails. I haven't brought this up before. We got a lot of interesting emails from you, maybe 3 or 4, that talked, and I didn't realize, you never know what bothers people in the audience. People do not like her scaring people. I was really surprised. Out of all the things she's accused of, viewers of our show, and I will say 4 women wrote that they consider that a form of bullying. Now, I politely disagree. You know how I feel about the misuse and overuse of the word bullying. But people do not. I thought people loved that. I have to admit, I think it's funny sometimes if the person is into it.
Right.
But a lot of our viewers do not like the scaring.
They don't?
No.
Oh.
It was the most shocking thing about last week's reaction from all of you. That turns people off. I don't know.
I would not think that.
No, thank goodness we don't scare people on this show.
Hey, yes, we do.
Yeah, we have before. Yeah. Next to the dish, she's back, sort of. Oprah, speaking of talk shows, is getting another talk show. This time with Apple TV Plus. The show will be called The Oprah Conversation and will be an interview series in which she speaks to newsmakers and, quote, thought leaders on timely topics. Now, her first episode is called How to Be an Anti-Racist, and it debuts actually Thursday on Apple TV Plus. Smart move for Oprah. After 25 years, who wants to go back to a daily grind? I mean, you know what I mean? She's done it. She's done a talk show. But this is very much, you know what I thought of? This is kind of like what David Letterman did. You know, David didn't want to go back to a daily grind, but that's the beauty of a streaming service. Oprah and Dave, she can do a show whenever she wants to. There's no schedule.
Right.
You know what I mean? If she finds someone interesting, well, let's find a couch, let's find a microphone, let's put some graphics on the TV, and boom, bada boom, we have a show.
I'm very curious. I get it. She can absolutely do it while we're in this pandemic and can't have people in person with her. But it is curious to me that she's debuting it that way, only because I think it would be sort of a rough way to start. But she's Oprah, so she can do anything.
Well, and I will tell you, love her, hate her, you know, she does, nobody does talk shows like she does.
No.
She does know how to have great conversations. And in times of national strife and upheaval, I have actually missed her because I'm old enough to remember, and I know Jeff will think about this too, from the Oklahoma City bombing to the Rodney King in the early 90s to 9/11. I have missed the Oprah Winfrey Show because that's where you turn to have kind of a national conversation. I remember her live show during the OJ verdict. That was one of the most gripping hours of television. She did a live show from Chicago as the verdict was being read.
Really?
Fascinating. Yeah, the audience reaction, really, really, really fascinating. Speaking of Oprah, apparently there are wild animals at her house. Gayle King is currently quarantining at Oprah's house in California and posted this video on her Instagram. Look at this.
Reporting from the Santa Barbara Bureau, and we got a knock on the door. And what was your message to us just now?
Ms. King, please stay inside the residence because we have a bear directly to the front of the residence.
A bear?
Yes, a black bear sighting.
How big a bear?
I'd say it's probably a good-sized adolescent bear, about his back about this high off the ground.
Can we really not go out and look?
No, it would not be advisable to go out and look right now.
Okay, but that's kind of
Santa Barbara
cool.
County Sheriffs are here right now.
Has Oprah been alerted?
Yes, she has.
Yeah. I would not go, Gayle, I love you. I would not investigate. Are you kidding me? You heard me a couple weeks ago. I'm freaked out that there are muskrats in the lake that the in-laws have a cabin at.
It's just a black bear. They're the nice ones. They are. They're the little ones. They're the nice ones.
It's still a bear.
Ah,
It's not Yogi. It's not like it's coming to ask you for, a picnic basket. It's a bear, a nice one. I get it. No, my father-in-law says the same thing. Oh, it's a nice one. It's not a grizzly. Well, it's still a bear, and it's still something that can attack you. Just saying.
Okay.
I mean, come on. It ain't Yogi. Still ahead, everybody. A major shakeup on a popular soap opera. Why a longtime actress, bloop, she's walking away. Plus, producer Ted's latest Hallmark movie review as Christmas in July continues. What did he think of Christmas at Holly Lodge? Look at that. Talk about a big head. Look at that thing. We'll be right back, everyone. Stay with us. And then local author Gretchen Anthony is back with her new book. Stay with us. Back in a moment.
Hey guys, whenever I need a pick-me-up, I go to my main source of spiritual strength, inspirational quotes posted on Instagram. It's time for hashtag blessed, hashtag inspired.
And now, hashtag blessed, hashtag inspired.
Our first inspirational quote is, sing like no one is listening, dance like nobody is watching, but I can't promise I won't post this on TikTok. I'm already starting to feel better. How about this morsel? You are the best you there's ever been. Until Tom Hanks plays you in a biopic, then Tom Hanks is the best you. Here's a treasure. It takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. So frown more and use that Peloton I got you for Christmas, babe.
Jimmy Fallon ruining the legacy of The Tonight Show with some fun, inspirational quotes.
Oh, snap.
I'm just joking. No, I'm not going to bust on any show. We're all trying. I mean, we're all trying. I'm not going to make fun of any other show because, look.
It's a struggle.
Yeah, anyway. Welcome back. Next in the dish, daytime TV getting a jolt recently when a longtime actress announced plans to leave a popular soap opera. Kristen Alfonso has been a regular on Days of Our Lives. for 37 years, but that will end soon. She says she's grateful that she's been a part of the show for so long, but in the last few years, quote, "Days of our lives is not the days of our lives as I know it." Apparently, she felt blindsided when producers wanted her character to leave for 4 or 5 months and then come back for a new romance. Her final episode will air in October. That bothered her? I mean, she's had like 2 heads. She's been possessed. And she's mad that they had her disappear for a little while. No, it was Marlena that was possessed, not Kristinelle, not Hope. But
no,
anyway.
I think she kind of was. Didn't she hypnotize the one guy into thinking that she was something else?
I don't know. And I can't believe that sentence just came out of your mouth. But anyway, no, I never watched Days. My ex-friend Anne's mom used to watch her.
I can't believe that sentence just came out of your mouth.
Yeah. She's been removed. But anyway, but her mom used to watch Days, and I love her mom. Mary is a delightful woman, and she used to record every single Days episode. And she loved Jack and Jennifer. Do y'all remember Jack and Jen? Matthew Ashford and I think Jennifer's still on the show.
I don't know.
You don't know them?
I only know Hope and Bo.
Hope and Bo, yeah.
Which, bye-bye.
See, and I loved Kristen Alfonso when she was on Falcon Crest.
I knew you were going to bring up Falcon Crest.
You did not.
I did too. I knew she was on it for 2 years, or 2 seasons, or 2 something. Because you would bring that show up.
Holy Wikipedia. You looked that up. Look at that.
I study a little bit. It takes a lot of work to be the dumb blonde on the show.
I'm naturally blonde. Yeah. No, but I get it. You know, that 37 years, that's a long time to do anything in one role. And, you know, so she's right. Soap operas aren't what they used to be. They don't get the ratings they used to. They don't get the production money they used to. It's, you know, I don't think she probably needs the money anymore.
Right.
After 37 years on NBC, I think she can go enjoy the rest of her life.
Totally. And
she
like
looks fantastic.
Character complexity at that point, it's like, what else can you throw at me?
Yeah. And are you really complaining about character complexity on a daytime soap opera?
I'm
just
sorry,
saying.
but I used to be a really big fan of that show. So
Did you?
Yeah.
Was that your soap?
Yeah, when I was a
Everyone
kid.
has their, yeah.
When I was a kid. Like, because I think my mom watched it or my babysitter watched it.
My grandma called them her cereals. I love that because they used to be sponsored by cereals. That's why. Next in the dish, another reality TV show is heading into the bubble. Which one? Look at this.
I'll give you one last chance, right? You can take the chance to hear what you say, or you can go with Alyssa's cookies.
Are you willing to go down?
So what?
You know, I'll help you, Frankie. I'll do it for 20%. I'll squeeze Cuban's head for you.
Only because he's an idiot. Okay, I'll do
No.
20%.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Deal?
And he's getting up. Oh my
Deal?
God. It's a deal.
Done.
That's right. Shark Tank is filming its upcoming 12th season in Vegas. The show features young entrepreneurs, if you don't know, pitching their business to wealthy people like Mark Cuban in hopes that they'll invest. Now, it usually shoots in LA, but due to the pandemic, they've moved to Sin City. The production of the show is normally done in 2 one-week pods, so it's easier to quarantine everyone. Yeah, now that's a show that I'm sure you could probably do well, as safely as any show, because they are about as far away as you and I are, and the camera probably is a little deceiving, but you and I are quite a ways away from each other. The studio isn't that big, but well, how far away would you say we are? Probably,
I don't know, like 10 yards?
10 yards, yeah, probably. So,
probably.
And that show, the contestants are way far away from the judges.
Right.
And that's an easy one. I mean,
oh,
yeah,
thank
right
you.
there we are. That's how far
Thanks,
we are
Adam.
away from each other.
Thank God I wore heels again today.
I know. Again, you don't have a chair, and she's fine with it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
everybody. That is one show I would love to see a behind the scenes bit about, like, how do you get your product onto the show? Do they have something like that? That's what I'd be curious about.
Yeah, I don't think they do, but they've had their success rate.
Right.
Laugh at it, and I've only watched a few episodes. Laugh at it if you will. They actually have a pretty high success rate from that show. Bethany was on it for a while too. So
I forgot about
yeah,
that.
Bethany Frankel was on it as well. It's a good one. The reruns are all the time on CNBC. You can't miss it. Next in the dish, last week we told you about the drama at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. This after Denise Richards sent a cease and desist order telling the women to stop talking about an alleged affair with Brandi Glanville. Now, they seemed to comply until Brandi started tweeting saying, "Listen to my podcast to know why Denise asked me specifically to say I was staying at the hotel across the way when I really wasn't. Also, you will hear the uncut version on Housewives, which proves that I stayed with Denise. We didn't know we were recording, but we were. Bottom line, if you are lost, and I'll describe this as safely as I can. Brandi Glanville claims that she played Candyland with Denise Richards and Denise Richards' husband. Together, they played Candyland.
All three played Candyland.
Oh, no, separate.
All three played separately.
Oh, just her and Denise. That's right. I'm sorry. That's right. They just played.
Okay, so it's just the two
The
of them
Candyland reference
playing
messed me up. That's right. Yes, they went to the Gumdrop Forest together.
Okay.
And and they played Candyland.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the alleged.
Okay.
That's what Brandi is saying. Denise is saying,
shut up, everybody.
we did not, and you're Nutter Butters, and stop.
Yeah.
And look, Brandi, the reason people are a little questioning, because Brandi doesn't have the best track record. I mean, and if you saw the last episode of Beverly Hills, she fell on a stage. I mean, she was so drunk, she fell over onto a plasma screen at a benefit. Yeah.
It's not
funny.
No,
but I mean,
at a benefit though too.
Yeah, at a benefit, she toppled over, and it's okay, there's a little bit of a credibility problem. Look, I haven't loved Denise Richards this season. I think she's one of those that she signed on for a reality show and now doesn't want to show her reality. But I am in the middle. I don't know who to believe, because Brandi doesn't make it easy to believe her, sadly. I know.
Well, the hard thing is, though, Brandi might make it hard to believe her, but the fact that Denise has been so,
Defensive
nobody
about
say
it?
anything.
Yeah. What was it? Doth protest too much? I don't know. Well, next in the dish. In about 15 minutes, we'll know what TV shows have been nominated for the Primetime Emmys. Who knows what the actual ceremony will look like when it airs in September? I do, a lot of Zoom. But there are a few shows getting a lot of pre-Emmy buzz. Among those expected to be nominated, Netflix's Ozark with Jason Bateman and Laura Linney. Absolutely, just give them everything. The Crown, starring new Queen Elizabeth Olivia Colman. Comedy series like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Okay, that can stop winning. That's been winning all the awards lately. And the last season was not good. And Dead to Me are strong contenders. Dead to Me season 1 maybe, season 2 not so much. Last month, the Academy announced that the drama and comedy categories will expand to 8 nominees each. Yeah.
Yeah, this would be the year you want to get nominated, because everybody's looking for something to watch and something to do.
Ozark is one of those rare shows where, I know maybe some of you will disagree, Ozark is one of those few shows that hasn't decreased in quality as it's continued. I have maintained my interest in each season. If anything, it's accelerated for me. And I'm really curious of how they're going to wrap this up, because there's only so many shenanigans this couple can get involved in. If you guys don't know, it's about a couple that gets involved in a money laundering scheme.
Right.
That's putting it mildly. That's scratching the surface of what the show's about. But it's so... Have you watched?
No,
I can't remember.
it's kind of like Breaking Bad-ish, right?
Yes.
And I didn't like Breaking Bad. So.
Oh, this is so good. And Laura Linney and Jason Bateman act their blank off. I mean, they just, their booty off. It is so good. They are so good together. And when you watch it, you're reminded how great Laura Linney is. You know, how just really, Meryl Streep and Viola Davis, and she is in that constellation of great actresses that can act anything. She does good bad, and she does bad really well. And it's written so crisply. It's a fabulous show. It's probably one of my favorite of the last 5 years.
Oh, really?
Without a doubt.
High
Oh,
praise.
yeah. With not even a question mark.
Okay.
You can find Ozark on Netflix, everyone. Still ahead, Allison Sweeney is struggling as a struggling lodge owner, but can love solve everything? God, it's a Days of Our Lives themed show today. Can it be saved, especially at Christmas time? Well, producer Ted's latest Hallmark Christmas review will answer that question. Oh, there's that head again. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Every year that I've been here, somebody gets exactly what they need out of nowhere.
At Holly Lodge, 'tis the season for friends, family, and maybe something more.
I saw the way you looked at Evan. I felt it from across the room.
Sometimes you find everything you're looking for in one place.
Or one person. Christmas at Holly Lodge.
That's right. A major developer sends his top lieutenant to a ski lodge to see if it's worth buying, but the lodge owner has plans of her own. Will love get in the way of a major takeover? That's the story behind the Hallmark Christmas movie At Holly Lodge. And it's part of Hallmark's Christmas in July special event. And that means it's time once again for Producer Ted Reviews Christmas Movies. Joining us from our Christmas movie headquarters, a very, very safe distance away from our studio, is producer Ted Johnson. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning.
You are coming to us from, what they call that, what, the Nook or something over there, don't they?
I believe it's the Cove.
The Cove, that's right. Well,
Very
greetings
fancy.
from the Cove. Now, Christmas at Holly Lodge. We saw a little bit. I talked a little bit about it. Fill in the blanks for us. What else do we need to know about this plot?
So we've got a big developer, British guy, and he sends his top lieutenant, his vice president of acquisitions, to this lodge that's struggling in the mountains somewhere. And the guy wants this guy to check out to see if he can buy it to turn it into a fancy resort. Well, because they know that Allison Sweeney's character is behind on her payments.
Oh.
Right. So Allison Sweeney's character goes, she somehow finds out that this guy is coming. And her mission is to make the lodge as undesirable as possible.
Okay.
So they call him in the morning at 3 a.m., wake-up calls. They give him cold showers, everything that would make him not want to buy the project.
And I bet with all of that, Ted, hilarity ensues, right?
Yeah.
Hilarity.
No.
I can see the shower scene now.
Right. No, yeah. And she's like hiding out in the basement.
Yep.
Waiting for him to shower, and then he goes, ah!
Yeah.
Yeah. That was about the first 45 minutes of the movie, and then the next hour and 15 was just tension.
Tension. Well, let's talk about the cast. You mentioned, I said this is a Days of Our Lives themed broadcast today. Days alum Allison Sweeney, right, Ted?
Yes, from The Biggest Loser.
Oh, yeah, I forgot she was on that as well.
Big fan of hers. So I hadn't seen her acting chops.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go.
Okay.
You don't even need to say anything. Okay.
And then some other people.
So what you're telling me, if I mirror this back to you, what you're telling me is Allison Sweeney is no Lacey Shea Bear.
No, she's not. She's not even close.
Is she a Melissa Gilbert, maybe? You don't know who Melissa. It's
Sure.
fine. Yeah. Cheryl Lee Ralph is also in it. Ted, I love her.
She's great.
Yeah,
she's
Dream Girls. Yes.
But sort of a lesser minor character, but she's great. She has a song that she busts out at the end, which is great. But by that point, you're just like, okay, are we at the 2-hour point yet?
Well, I would imagine Cheryl Lee is probably the acting mountain because everybody else is probably below her, right? I mean,
oh, yeah.
It doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I was looking at some behind the scenes stuff, and they were saying, oh, we were so excited to get this other actor in here to play opposite Allison Sweeney. Oof.
Not good?
No.
Was there any chemistry? Forget the acting. Was there any on-screen chemistry?
No, and it was weird because the second he comes into the lodge, like 3 minutes into the movie, it was, hey.
Oh.
It was tension for 2 hours, and it was just like, make out already.
Yeah, please make out. Okay, so let's go through the checklist of our movies. If you're new to our show, Ted has a very scientific checklist to see if this is really a Hallmark Christmas movie. First, was there a kiss or touching in a gazebo?
No, there were no gazebos. That's the one thing this lodge needs is a gazebo. If they're so big into Christmas, why don't they have a gazebo?
Did they make out in the lobby or anything? If it's a hotel, they did.
And there were kids there.
Okay. Yeah, kids ruin everything. Okay, how about small town, big town girl? Small town girl moves in. You know what I mean.
The big city vice president of acquisitions goes to this tiny lodge. Sure, we'll check that.
And finally, I think I know the answer because Allison Sweeney's in this. Lacey Shea Bear, does she make any type of guest appearance?
That really could have helped. Really could have helped.
Lori Loughlin, is she in this at all?
Ooh, no.
No, not from prison?
Too soon.
Okay.
Too soon.
Finally, Ted stars each of these or grades each of these by Hallmark crowns. 4 is the best. 1 is basically Ishtar. Where are we at with this one?
I had to downgrade this from what I had initially thought I was going to give it.
Oh my goodness.
So, Steve, let's do the big reveal.
Okay.
We've never done this before. Half a crown.
Half a crown?
Yeah. This was, in theory, this should be a fun movie. She, could go through some hilarious ways to make him not want to buy the lodge. But it was just a mess. There were different storylines going all over the place. No, pass.
Ted, I just looked through the history of our show right here. I don't think you've ever awarded any of these half a crown.
We had to make Rob King actually work to come up with this graphic.
Half a crown, everyone. There it is. Christmas at Holly Lodge, live from the Cove. It's Ted. Thank you, buddy.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Go back in the booth now. Still ahead, local author Gretchen Anthony will join us to talk about her newest book, The Kids Are Gonna Ask. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Christmas at Holly Lodge. Welcome back. Well, we met our first guest a couple years ago, and that's when she gave us the rules on writing the perfect Christmas letter. We just had Hallmark Christmas movies. Now we have this. Her brand new book called The Kids Are Gonna Ask is in bookstores right now. Please welcome back to our show, Gretchen Anthony. Hi, Gretchen.
Hi, how are you, Jason?
I'm doing well. Thanks for being back. Jeff and I were just talking. A lot of things are coming back into fashion, so to speak, in this age of COVID and quarantine. We're actually talking to our family. Isn't that amazing, Gretchen? Before we get to your new book, I wanted to ask you about your old one. Are you seeing a resurgence in good old-fashioned greeting cards and letter writing? You know where I'm going with this. Are you seeing a return to this?
I just got an email the other day that said, from somebody who said, I love writing letters. Will everyone send me their address so I can start writing letters? So a little bit. I think producer Ted should pull his strings at the Hallmark Channel so that we can make my other book, Evergreen Tidings from the Baumgartners, into a Christmas movie, and then he can review that Christmas movie here. Do you think that should work?
Done. You know what? As I'm speaking, Ted is firing off an email right now. We'll do it.
Okay, thanks, Ted.
We'll do it. Yes. Okay, tell us. I gave a little bit there. Tell us about the new book.
Yeah, the new book is a departure. It's also, though, about a current event. So I'm a huge podcast fan, and the fact that I was going to write a book about podcasts was not a huge stretch, but just what that podcast would be about was what I had to figure out. And so this book is about 17-year-old twins. It's set here in Minneapolis because I love writing books about Minnesotans. Two 17-year-old twins, and they start a podcast to find their biological father, who they've never met, after their mother dies, and they're living with their eccentric, quirky grandmother. And the podcast goes viral, and their lives are upended in the process. And it's really, at its heart, it's a story about family. And I love these kids. As a mom, I really, really, really wanted to give their story justice. So I get a little emotional about it, to be honest. But it's a funny book, too, so don't worry.
No, that's so interesting you said that, because, when I watch a lot of making of documentaries, and when you see creators like, George Lucas or whatever that create these characters, they do become very connected, and they're real people to the authors. Do you look at the kids in this book? Are they real to you in your mind? Because I will never be as talented as you. I respect writers so much. I do not have that wiring. In your mind, Gretchen, are these kids real to you?
Well, they are real to me. At the core, to be honest, physically, I modeled them. I have all teenage boys myself, and my oldest son is now 17. He was 15 and 16 when I was writing the book, but I modeled, it's a girl and a boy twin, Thomas and Savannah, and I modeled them physically and a little bit personality-wise on my son Connor and his best friend Sarah, who is a girl, and they're not dating at all. They're like literally best friends, and they're kind of polar opposites in ways. Sarah, I call her a Hershey's Kiss in female form because she's just tiny and she's intense and she's all flavor and personality. And Connor is like 6 feet tall and he's just gangly, and he's the Thomas. So yes, in a lot of ways, these kids were real to me because I was watching those two grow up as I was writing these characters. And so they're not carbon copies by any means. And this is not my son's story, but I was really able to, I really tried, put it that way, to get at the heart of their story and to do them justice.
I'm so glad that you're back, and we're going to have some fun with you in just a second after we go to break. But I'm so glad you're back because I remember you sitting right next to me and you were waiting on approval for the cover. Remember this, Gretchen? You were waiting on approval for the cover and you couldn't say anything. I'm looking at the cover in our graphic. I really like it. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, it took me a little bit to warm up to it. Yeah, the cover. It's very trendy right now.
Yeah.
It grew on me.
I really like it. And I remember you and you're like, okay, we can't say anything, but I really like it. So congratulations. We're actually going to play a game with Gretchen when we come back. Stay right there. Back in a moment, everyone. Welcome back. We're back with Gretchen Anthony, author of the book The Kids Are Gonna Ask, with a beautiful cover. And Gretchen, you're a big fan of podcasts. I am too. Oh, by the way, Gretchen, speaking of podcasts, this isn't like true crime or anything. Executive producer Jeff, I have to credit him. Have you listened to the Dolly Parton's America podcast?
Not yet. It's in my list. Is it good?
Oh, Gretchen, I have to give credit where credit's due. Jeff is usually right with podcasts. I listened to this right before the quarantine started. A fantastic podcast. It will make you think differently. You will look at Dolly Parton and her influence on culture really differently when you listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I promise.
Okay.
And then I'll call you up and let you know what I think.
Please do. Okay, you're going to quiz me. I love this. Usually I'm hosting the quizzes. You're going to quiz me now.
I am.
Okay.
I am. Okay. I called this the Prove Your Love of Podcast Pop Quiz.
Okay.
Okay. So question number 1. A red dining room table features prominently in my new novel, The Kids Are Gonna Ask. So I was really excited to stumble across a popular real-life show called The Red Table Podcast. Who headlines The Red Table Podcast, which features, quote, groundbreaking and healing conversations and, quote, where no topic is off limits? Is it A, actress Jada Pinkett Smith, B, Real Housewife Camille Grammer, C, self-help author and motivational speaker Lucinda Bassett, or D, Dr. Sandra Lee, aka Dr. Pimple Popper?
Well, though I would watch anything Dr. Pimple Popper did, it is A, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Have you listened to it?
Yeah, and I watch it. She's like...
It's also on Facebook.
The last one with Will was a little too much for me because Will looked really uncomfortable, but I do love Jada, but yeah.
Yeah, and it also features her daughter and a mom.
Yes.
Okay, you're doing very well.
Thank
Number
you.
2, one of my favorite can't miss podcasts is The Office Ladies, about the hit comedy The Office. And it, quote, co-stars best friends Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, who are doing their ultimate The Office rewatch podcast for you. But Office Ladies is just one of the podcasts dedicated to the hit NBC sitcom. How many podcasts are out there that are dedicated to The Office? Is it A, 9, B, 48, C, 14, or D, 93?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to upset a lot of people here to admit that I'm not a big fan of The Office. So I am going to say C.
You're good. There are 14, and that does not include the podcasts that are on the original UK version of The Office. That would top 20.
I would love to say that was skill. That was pure luck right there. That was, I was thinking of the word cat, so I went with C. So, yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, number 3. One of the top podcasts in the country right now is called Park Predators. What is it? A wilderness show, survival show featuring, quote, real life stories of survival after vicious animal attacks. B, one of the many podcasts from the National Park Service that provides, quote, virtual access to the nation's park and the wildlife that lives within them. Or C, a true crime podcast about human predators who use the nation's park to commit murder. Quote, sometimes the most beautiful places hide the darkest secrets.
Oh, I want all of them to be true. And I would say C.
You are good at this.
Okay.
It is C. I'm not going to listen to this one because I like to hike and I do not need any more reason.
Oh, yeah, you don't need that in your head. You don't need that. Yeah, no. But that's fascinating.
Oh.
Okay, we have time for one more.
Okay. Which of these celebrities currently does not have... no, I'm going to do this one.
Okay.
I'm going to do this one. Another top-ranked podcast in the U.S. right now is Wind of Change. What is it about? A deep dive into the origins of the 80s pop song Wind of Change by the Scorpions. B, a political podcast featuring the nation's top political minds as they discuss all things 2020. C, a podcast produced by Rolling Stone magazine about, quote, one unforgettable summer, 1968, and the 3 short months that forever changed the fabric of America.
Oh. C again.
Oh, Rolling Stone magazine. No, I fooled you. Finally fooled you.
Oh.
This one is actually a deep dive into the origins of the 80s pop song by the Scorpions. So the journalist Patrick Radden O'Keefe heard a rumor that the song wasn't written by the Scorpions. It was written by the CIA as an act of insurrection.
Well, who
and this
knew?
Is his journey to find the truth is what he says. Yeah.
Well, I think this was a good trade-off. I gave the Dolly Parton one, and now I'm going to listen to the Park Predator one because that's fantastic.
Okay. You're going to have to listen to that one for me.
I will. Gretchen, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
The Kids Are Gonna Ask is available wherever books are sold. There it is right now. Support Gretchen. Support local authors. She's fantastic. We're going to take a break, everyone. We'll be back with some social media comments right after this. Back in a moment. Buddy Adam doing a great job over there on the Jib camera, one of our great crew members. You can stay connected with our show on social media. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for Jason Show TV. And like we said, in lieu of an audience, we really want to stay connected with you on our social accounts. Like Stacy Johnson tweeted during the show, Jason, what was the name of that vodka soda in a can that you liked? Well, no, I mean, people go boating and stuff. Why are you laughing? No, it was High Noon. Oh, my goodness. Everyone likes that White Claw. Oh, that tastes like something a penguin would drink. I don't like that. But the High Noon, oh, that is fantastic. I love that. Anyway, we'll be right back. Stay with us, everybody. It is. It's really good. Everybody loves the White Claw. Welcome back, everyone. Kendall joins me again. Hello, sunshine.
Hello.
It's Tuesday. Can you believe it?
It's Tuesday.
We're reading your comments on social media. Kendall, a very delightful woman named Babe. Babe wrote me a letter. She wants to know why I look at you sometimes and not just the camera. Well, because I'm addressing you. But Babe would like me to look right. Hi, Babe. Is this better? She wants me to look right at her. So, hi, Babe.
But then I would feel very left out.
Yeah, I have to address you sometimes. And a lot of people writing in, keeping track here, the Ellen thing continues to baffle me. I'm just really...
The surprise thing?
Forget the... Look, we'll let the professionals deal with whether or not it's a toxic work environment. That's above our paid grade. We're not there. No one will really know what's going on except those employees, and that's just fine. But a lot of our viewers do not like the scaring. I just never knew that. And people are still calling it bullying, like when they put Andy in the haunted house. Let me tell you this.
That was so funny, though.
Well, let me tell you this a little bit about TV. When they send Andy into the haunted house, Andy agrees to do it. Right. Nobody on that show that works there, he agrees to do it. And again, I do not like, respectfully, the overuse of the word bullying. That is not bullying.
No.
If you want to see bullying, I'll take you out to lunch and I'll tell you what real bullying. That is not bullying.
Right.
Just please. Anyway, but no, it just really surprises me. But keep the comments coming. We love the dialogue on our social media. Have a fantastic day today, Miss
Thank
Kendall.
you.
I'm looking at you just because I want another email from Babe. Tomorrow on the show, we're previewing the City Pages Best of Edition. Plus, our good friend, Alicia Perkins, is back with us. That's fantastic. I love Alicia. Speaking of authors. That's going to do it for us today, though. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you're doing it wrong. I'm going to look right in the camera. Bye, Babe. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for watching.